Hey there everyone, what is going on? As always, I'm Bobithin, and I'm here today to do a food list. It is called an unhealthy foods tier list. I kind of changed it for myself. I'm going to be doing this tier list based on the foods I have found the hardest to kind of transition away from over this last year of me trying to eat healthier, trying to lose weight and everything. And so I just took the first list made because when I tried to make it myself, it was extremely time consuming and I wanted to have this out today. So here's the list. I'm not sure if this first one is grits, like in the US, but I've never eaten them if they are. So those go in never ate. Next up we got hamburgers. So hamburgers are a little out there. If we take hamburgers as a whole, I haven't been able to give them up at all. We eat them probably once a week here, if not once every other week. But if we're going hamburgers as in fast food burgers, which I'm going to take this as, I'm going to put this up here in still sometimes eat. I'll have the occasional Harvey's burger. I think I've had like maybe 6 or 7 in the last year. But I haven't had McDonald's or Wendy's. I don't eat Burger King. And I think I've had A&W once. So I would still I'd still eat sometimes, but definitely not as hard to give up as I expected it to be. I thought McDonald's was going to be the hardest, but I haven't even had a craving for McDonald's, and now when I think about it, I don't even want to eat it. Then next up, I believe this is a burrito. I have given up burritos themselves, but I've been getting burrito bowls. So I'm going to put the actual burrito themselves in easy peasy lemon squeezy. But I still have been having burrito bowls, so a little bit healthier, and that also looks like a Taco Bell one. I'm not really a Taco Bell kind of guy. I'd eat it every now and then, but I haven't had it in at least a year. Cake. Cake is definitely going to be one of the hardest things for me to give up. I fucking love cake. And just with everyone's birthday, with my graduation, with everything, I feel all of our birthdays are basically condensed into the summer months. And so there's been a lot of cake over the last 4 months, and that's definitely got to go on hardest. Cereal. That's going right in easy peasy. I'm not really a cereal person. I will say in university I ate a lot of cereal because it was cheap and unhealthy, and I enjoyed it. But I haven't eaten cereal in probably 2 years. If anything, I ate it dry, which is really weird, but that's who I am. Then I believe this next one is like Chinese food. I'm going to take this as in Chinese food, sushi, and Vietnamese food. And I still sometimes eat. I think I've been to sushi. I had sushi 5 or 6 times this last year. Definitely, if my buddy Lawrence was still living here, this would definitely be in hardest. Or like, if I had more friends here who essentially weren't Sneakle, and some of my other friends who I see very rarely, it would be a lot harder to give up sushi because a lot of my friends like sushi. It's a lot of food for a fair amount of money, and but no, I don't eat sushi nearly as much as I used to. Cookies. Cookies are gonna go in harder than I thought. As an Italian, whenever we go to lunch, there's always lots of cookies, and definitely I actually had 2 today. Definitely harder to kick than I thought, but like, I never go to my way to buy cookies. I just eat them if they're there. So there's that. That's why they're not in hardest. But yeah, croissants. That's pretty easy. If they're in the house, I'll have one. But like, they're very rarely in the house, and there's so many calories. When I look at the box, I just think they're not worth it. So they've been very easy to get rid of. Donuts will go in. Still sometimes eat. Probably had about 6 or 7 over the last year. But if someone brings a box of donuts, I'm probably going to have one if I'm being honest. So there's that. Next up, I believe this is French toast, which is pretty easy. I'm not a big breakfast food kind of guy. I usually don't eat until lunch. If I go out with friends and family for breakfast, I'm getting French toast. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I would never make French toast on my own. I typically make protein waffles now, so that's my go-to. Next up is chicken wings, and the second I started this list, I knew there was going to be 3 things in here. Chicken wings is definitely one of them. When we do have pizza, we usually get wings, and I found wings have been a lot harder to tell myself no, whereas other things have been okay. Definitely a hard thing to give up wings. Chicken wings are just so good. They're just so many calories. And who doesn't love a good chicken wing? Next up, we got French fries. So we don't really eat French fries here, and more so if we're having a side, it's usually rice. And other than McDonald's fries, I'm not really, like, unless it's from like a fry truck, I'm not really a fry kind of guy. So that's going to go in easy peasy. Pretty easy. I can't tell what this is. I think it's a hot dog. So I'm going to go with that. To be honest, I'm going to put hot dogs in harder than I thought. I would never actively seek out eating a hot dog unless it's a Costco hot dog while we're shopping. But it's not just me living here, so if we have hot dogs for dinner, and that's what our dinner meal is, I'm going to eat 3 or 4 until I'm full. They're definitely still appetizing. Like, again, I would never actively go and cook myself hot dogs. I used to a lot, but not anymore. But they have been harder to give up than I thought. Next up, we have ice cream. Ice cream's a tough one because I'm gonna put that in harder than I thought. Usually, if anything, I'm gonna eat a popsicle over ice cream. But Halo Top ice cream is much healthier than other ice cream, and you can get a pint for like 400 calories. If I have the calories in my day and I'm feeling ice cream, I'll go buy one of those. They're very tempting. The only thing is they're a little bit expensive. Usually you can get 2 for $10. But that's a full pint of ice cream for 400 calories. Something I'll usually do if I'm in the mood for ice cream. So that would go up and harder than I thought. Mac and cheese or Kraft dinner. Definitely going in easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. I used to eat a lot of Kraft dinner, mostly because of the cost in university. I was the type of person who would use, like, I'd use a box and a half, and then I'd take the cheese and use it all. That's usually the only reason I'd use a box and a half, to have it extra cheesy. I personally prefer white cheddar Kraft dinner, but again, it's just not worth the calories. It's not filling enough for however much, like, for the calories it is, so. Next up is mozzarella sticks. I haven't had a mozzarella stick probably since I started. They were my go-to side. Now they're not really relevant. We don't go out that much to like actual restaurants. Like I said, if I'm going out, I'm probably getting a burrito bowl. So those haven't been that hard to give up. Muffins. I'm gonna put muffins and still eat sometimes. If there's muffins in the house, I'll probably have one. And if I'm going, like, earlier in my weight loss journey, if I was going out, I'd probably get a muffin from Timmy's if I was getting, like, a bagel or something. Then I started to read how much calories there were, and those have kind of left my diet, quote-unquote. And so that, those aren't something I actively go out to seek, but if they're there, I'll probably eat them. Next up, we have nachos, and I usually get hate from my friends for this. I'm a very, very, very picky eater. I'll be the first to admit that. I'm not a big nacho fan. I'm okay with the chip, cheese, and meat. I'm not a big pepper, tomato, onion, jalapeno kind of guy. So those were very easy to give up. I don't eat pancakes. Just have never really been a big pancake person. Pie. Now, it's a little bit easier because my aunt doesn't live here anymore. She used to make pumpkin pie all the time, and that would probably be my go-to dessert. On my birthday, I would get a pie from her because she knew how much I like pumpkin pie. But she doesn't live here. We haven't really had many family activities. And on Thanksgiving, I actually only had one piece of pie. No, I had two. Two. So I'm going to put in still eat sometimes. If my aunt lived here, it would be a little different. But over the last year, I haven't really had pie. Pizza. Hands down, the hardest food for me to give up. Pizza is probably the cheapest fast food you can get such a large quantity for. I probably had pizza 2 to 3 times a week in university just because someone in the house or someone in my friend group ordered pizza and they're like, hey, you want a slice? Or, hey, do you want to pitch for pizza? And when you got so many people pitching, it's so cheap. Pizza's definitely got to be up there. And here, we probably have pizza once every 2 weeks. I actually had 2 slices of pizza for lunch, but that was homemade pizza, a little different. But yeah, pizza is hands down the hardest thing for me to give up so far. I actually, if you change this around, it's gonna go pizza and chicken wings because they usually go hand in hand for us, and then cake. Next up, we have pop. So in grade 12, I gave up pop for like 8 months, and it wasn't hard. This time I gave up pop. It was a little bit harder. It would probably go at the end of harder than I thought. But it was definitely hard. I think I have found the perfect medium with soda water. I used to hate soda water, and now it's all I really drink, either soda water or regular water. I'll have the rare pop, like when my sister buys Diet Sprite, I'll have a couple of those. I'll get the occasional Diet or Coke Zero vanilla, but it's not something I really go out of my way to find. If I see it while I'm lined up at a store, I'll take it, but usually doesn't happen. And last but not least is tacos. I mean, we have tacos. I'm going to put it in probably harder than I thought. We still eat tacos a bunch, and when we do, I eat a lot. I wouldn't necessarily say homemade tacos are nearly as bad as fast food tacos, but yeah, I definitely think they were a bit harder than I thought to give up. Still eat them sometimes. Basically anything in still eat them sometimes and up, I still eat. Or I could every now and then. And then there's some down low, but very, very infrequently. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is just a little insight. As I said, we're about to hit 1 year on my weight loss journey. I definitely think this is something I wanted to get out there, wanted to let everyone know. I hope you guys enjoyed. If so, please like, share, and subscribe. We will be here on Friday for 1 year of my weight loss journey. I hope you guys all have a great day. See you guys next week. See ya.